Walked through the revolving door. The host asked how many in my party. I held up one finger. He looked over my shoulder to check if I was lying. I followed him to a table by the window. The table clock is white and heavily starched. I sit down. I fold a linen napkin on my lap. I am not waiting for anyone. This is a complete experience. I don't need a conversation. Beautiful life. I am paying attention to the silver fork. I am looking at the water glass. I am entirely in this room. I don't feel like crying, I feel hungry. The waiter brings a heavy leather menu. I read every single description. I don't have to compromise on the appetite size. I order the duck and a glass of red wine. A couple at the next table is arguing. The man leans forward. The woman looks at her plate. I take a sip of my tap water. The ice hits the side of the glass. It makes a clean sound. This is a complete experience. I don't need a conversation. Beautiful life. I am paying attention to the silver fork. I am looking at the water glass. I am entirely in this room. I don't feel like crying, I feel hungry. The food arrives on a large plate. I pick up my knife. The metal feels cold and expensive. I take my first bite and look outside. Cars are driving past the restaurant. Everyone is going somewhere to be with someone else. I am already where I wanna be. The duck is perfectly cooked. I chew slowly. The waiter turns to ask how everything tastes. I tell him it is very good. That is the extent of my social interaction. It is exactly explain my day to anyone. I don't have to walking down the street alone. I don't miss the weight of another hand. I look at the street signs. I am walking home, look at the street signs. I have a good book on my nightstand. I don't need anything else. It is a beautiful life. It is very quiet here. I am fine with this. I am absolutely fine. I am walking. I am walking. The lake is flat as glass. We watch the morning pass. A heavy kind of peace as water meets the wood. No wind to turn us round, no anchor to be found. I look across at you. We sink the way we should. The weight of it all is pulling us deep. We close our eyes and let the water seep. Falling slower now, falling slower now. The cold comes in so sweet it rises past my feet. Falling slower now, falling slower now. An inch an hour, an inch an hour. The sky is pale and wide, nowhere to run or hide. You do not say a word, your hands rest on your knee. I watch the slow descend, a quiet tragedy that only we can see. The weight of it all is pulling us deep. We close our eyes and let the water seep. Falling slower now, falling slower now. The cold comes in so sweet it rises past my feet. Falling slower now, falling slower now. An inch an hour, an inch an hour. The edge begins to blur without a single stir. I breathe the heavy air, I let the damage be. There is no rescue boat. We We are too tired to float. The ruin takes us whole. It happens gracefully. The weight of it all is pulling us deep. We close our eyes and let the water seep. Falling slower now, falling slower now. The cold comes in so sweet it rises past my feet. Falling slower now, falling slower now. An inch an hour, an inch an hour. It takes so long to drown when no one makes a sound. The surface slips away, the daylight turns to gray. Suspended in the lake, I let the water rise. I let it cover lies. It takes so long to leave with nothing to retrieve. So beautiful it goes, so beautiful and slow. Inch an hour, the boat goes down. Inch an hour, down. I am putting my shirts into the dark blue suitcase. The television is playing a commercial for car insurance. You are sleeping on the couch with a blanket over your knees. I want you to wake up and ask me what I am doing, but you do not wake up. I leave my house keys on the glass table. They make a sharp sound against the glass. It is raining outside. I am putting on my heavy coat. I am looking at your shoes by the front door, or they are muddy from yesterday when we walked to the park. I am the one who is breaking this. I am the one who is walking out. I will tell everyone it was my decision. I will make sure they know you did nothing wrong. Goodbye, baby. It is all my fault. Goodbye, baby. I am taking the blame. You can keep the apartment. You can keep the friends. Goodbye, baby. I am the bad person here. I push the heavy metal door and step onto the wet pavement. The bus is coming down the avenue. Its tires are loud on the water. I pay my fare and sit in the back row. I look out the window at brick buildings going by. I am leaving you behind in that room. I am carrying the guilt so you do not have to carry anything. We tried to go to dinner last week. We sat at the diner and looked the laminated menus. We did not speak for 20 minutes. That is when I knew I had to end it. I will be the failure for both of us. I am practicing whether I ruin a people ask. I will tell your sister I was completely selfish. My phone is vibrating in my pocket. I assume you woke up and saw the keys. Goodbye, baby. You can keep the friends. Goodbye, baby. I am the bad person here. The bus pulls into the station downtown. The floorboards are cold. I watch your chest rise and fall. You let out a sigh, a pale mist by the door. We are sitting so still, waiting for the draft to blow. Everything we build is just a quiet kind of snow, falling through the roof, settling on the clay. It lands on my tongue, and then it is gone. A delicate shade, too heavy to hold on. We are held together by air, just floating in the pan. Your voice is a ghost, tracing the edge of bed. I reach out my hand, but touch the winter instead. We spoke all our words, now they are scattered like ash. This beautiful frame made of invisible glass, ready to come down with the slightest shift away. It lands on my tongue, and then it is gone. A delicate shade, too heavy to hold on. We are held together by air, just floating in the pan. Close the window tight, try to keep the weather out, but the chill is inside, filling up the hollow mouth. You look at me now, through the dust in the light. There is nothing to break, nothing left to fight. We are standing on the ice, watching the cracks expand. There is no solid ground underneath the lifting hand. The frost on the pane melts into a tiny stream. I am washing away the edges of the scene. We do not say goodbye, we just slowly dissipate, leaving only the breath, and only the breath, and the empty space. A memory in the lungs, fading out of view, held together by air. Held together by air. The afternoon sun slants through the glass, dust settling slow on the dashboard. Watching the identical houses pass, no need to say a single word. You keep your hand steady on the wheel, 35 miles an hour down the avenue. The quiet rhythm's all I need to feel, just breathing right next to you. The radio is off, the windows rolled up tight, just the tires rolling on the street. We have no destination in sight, but the journey feels complete. This is a love without fireworks, no explosions bursting in the sky, no dramatic exits or dangerous curves, just the comfort of the days rolling by. We don't need a spectacular show, we don't need the sparks to burn out fast. We take it easy, we take it slow, building a quiet peace meant to last. A calm and endless afternoon, this is a love without fireworks. I used to want the storm and the rain, the chaotic rush of a movie scene, but all of that just ended in pain, chasing after a hollow fantasy. Now I look at your profile in the light, the easy way you check the rearview glass. Everything feels remarkably right, watching the suburban hours pass. No anxiety tied inside my chest, no wondering where I stand, just the profound beauty of feeling at rest while you reach out and take my hand. This is a love without fireworks, no explosions bursting in the sky, no dramatic exits or dangerous curves, just the comfort of the days rolling by. We don't need a spectacular show, we don't need the sparks to burn out fast. We take it easy, we take it slow, building a quiet peace meant to last. A calm and endless afternoon, this is a love without fireworks. Sometimes people want the roaring flames, the fire behind those exhausting games. We found our warmth in the soft daylight, the mundane routines are a sacred space, just from pickup home in your familiar face, the gentle poetry that nobody knows. 35 miles an hour, the afternoon stretches out ahead. No need to rush, no need to run, nothing more need the wheels. Just exactly how forever feels. You calmly sitting by my side, a love without fireworks, an endless afternoon. The air is dyed a gray, gray shapes sliding slow across the plaster. Time is melting, pulling me down a little faster. I am the only one awake in the hemisphere, just the heavy air in here. The quiet is loud enough to shake the glass. I'll wait for the heavy dark to pass. Every single house on the street is completely still, except for the chill on the windowsill. It is a deep, bottomless snow, catching in the bottom of my throat. A low vibration sinking into my bones. I am awake, I am entirely alone. The heavy silence starts to ring, loud enough to vibrate everything. It is an ache down in the deep, while the rest of the planet falls to sleep. The television is off, but the screen is cold. The television is off, but the screen is cold. I feel suddenly very old, tracing the lines of the wood on the floorboards, cutting through the quiet like unplayed chords. Gravity pulls a little harder in the deep night, washing out the color, draining the light. The quiet is loud enough to shake the glass. I'll wait for the heavy dark to pass. Every single house on the street is completely still, except for the chill on the windowsill. It is a deep, bottomless snow, catching in the bottom of my throat. A low vibration sinking into my bones. I am awake, I am entirely alone. The heavy silence starts to ring, loud enough to vibrate everything. It is an ache down in the deep, while the rest of the planet falls to sleep. Ooh, the frequency drops down low. Ooh, nowhere else I can go, just me and the blue, sinking through the mattress pad. Ooh, the quietest ache I ever had. Shakes the window panes, it rushes in my veins. Just a deep no, just a heavy rain. Everything I am for the sun, grainy blue, sinking through the heavy silence. Let it ring, let it ring. Let it sink deep down. Yeah, just let it sink deep down, way down. Nothing left to reach for, nothing left to pull. Heavy water in the room, looking at you on the couch. Spacesuit feeling too tight, helmet mouth move, just the bass dropping out. Just the freaksy dying, we are floating in the living room, miles below the surface. Cold, gone, wash it out. Everything is gray, everything is gray now. Oxygen is running thin, but I don't feel the panic. Just a slow drift, just a slow fade. Untethered in the deep, zero gravity pull. Zero gravity pull. Zero gravity pull. Muted hearts in the deep, beating out of time. Can't hear the sound. Can't hear the sound at all. Water in my ears, water in my lungs. Zero gravity pull. Cut the cord, watch the line drift away. Space between us getting wide, everything is slow motion. You reach out a hand, thick glass in the way. Pressure building up, no sound in the vacuum, no sound in the ocean. Look at your face, washed out, dull pain, numb in the brain. Just another day fading, just another loop playing. Tape is running out, spool is getting bare. We are just suspended here, nowhere left to fall. Untethered in the deep, zero gravity pull. Zero gravity pull. Zero gravity pull. Muted hearts in the deep, beating out of time. Can't hear the sound. Can't hear the sound at all. Water in my ears, water in Sinking is easier, sinking is quiet. Wrap the heavy blanket round, let the cold take over. No arguments, voices echo in the helmet, echo in the water. I see you try to speak, bubbles rising up, floating in the dark. Check the dial, nothing there. Frequencies are dead, I am just a slow drift, drifting right. Gray room, zero pull, muffle out. Underwater now, underwater now. Just drifting, just drifting. Just breathing in the dust. Just breathing in the dust. I pull out the wooden chair on the left side, place a single ceramic plate in the dead center. The geometry of this dining table is entirely ruined, built for the symmetry of two people laughing. Now it leans heavy into the awful quiet of one. I trace the grayness between the refrigerator cooling and the neighbor's car pulling into the driveway. Everything takes an absolute eternity to pouch. Feels like a marathon, I am too exhausted to run. Gravity is pulling down on this empty architecture, and I am sinking right through the floorboards. This is the slow alone of love, when the clock hands refuse to turn. Through the white spaces you left behind, I am drowning in the slow alone of love, where the afternoon stretches into a barren year, and I just sit here waiting for nothing. I walk through the doorway and the echo is wrong. The acoustics change the minute you bags. My voice bounces off the bare walls and comes back cold. I try to eat a meal, but chewing takes a monumental effort. Swallowing down the silence, the daylight creeps the rug at a brutal pace. The glacial shifting of the sun dying out in the yard. I am a ghost haunting resin of this terrible afternoon. The distance from the window pane to the bed feels like a vast ocean I am too terrified to cross. Gravity is pulling down on this empty architecture, and I am sinking right through the floorboards. This is the slow alone of love, when the clock hands refuse to turn. Through the white spaces you left behind, I am drowning in the slow alone of love. You took the tempo, my life in your suitcase, and left me this agonizing crawl. Every breath is a heavy weight in my lungs. Every minute is a mountain I have to climb. I look at the empty, the mattress, and the flat terrain is impossible desert. I am straight in the center of my own hell. This is the slow alone of love, when the clock hands refuse to turn. The afternoon stretches into a barren year, and I just sit here waiting for nothing. Falling away. Voices spinning out in colors, red and blue across the linen. I am watching water spilling over the edge of the crystal. Every face around me rushing, blurring out in rapid motion. But your hand is pulling back a millimeter at a time. The silence drops into my stomach, heavy like an ocean stone. I can see the exact muscle twitching underneath your jaw. You're looking past my shoulder to the wall across the room, while the air is turning solid, freezing over where I stand. This is the sound of the fracture, ripping open through the center. I am stuck inside the split, while the world goes spinning fast. Every piece of glass is falling, hanging breathless stretches out 1,000 miles. A sharp noise without a source, ringing loud inside my skull. You finally let the sentence drop. The syllables suspended right there. I can taste the bitter salt rushing up to fill the space. This is the sound of the fracture, ripping open through the center. I am stuck inside the split while the world goes spinning fast. Every piece of glass is falling, hanging breathless in the open. Taking years to hit the floor, taking years to hit the floor. Breaking open, frame by frame by frame. The temperature is plunging downward. I am watching it dismantle. I blink your eyes and look away. I trace the motion of the lid, an agonizing slow parade of closing off and shutting down. Taking years, you are moving on already. I am waiting for the crash, I am waiting for the crash. Frame by frame, suspended in the ruin. Pillows stacked on the far side, blankets pulled tight across the mattress. Used to sleep on the very edge, leaving room for the past, leaving room for the past. My hand doesn't reach out in the dark, my foot doesn't search for your warmth. This is slowly letting go. It's not a crash, it's a quiet slip, just an inch at a time. Taking back the room we built. Yeah, this is a room we built. Yeah, this is slowly letting go. Slowly letting go. Your shirt's gone from the bottom drawer. I fill the gap with folded denim. I don't check your local forecast. My mind doesn't race when my phone rings. My chest doesn't tighten up anymore. This is slowly letting go. It's not a crash, it's a quiet slip, just an inch at a time. Taking back the room we built. Yeah, this is a room we built. Yeah, this is slowly letting go. Slowly letting go. 1,000 tiny cuts, 100 little breaks. I didn't notice the drift until I woke up in the center, dead center of the mattress. No more balancing on the side, no more waiting for the sound of ties. This is slowly letting go. It's not a crash, it's a quiet slip, just an inch at a time. Taking back the room we built. Yeah, this is a room we built. Yeah, this is slowly letting go. Slowly letting go. I stretch out my legs, hit the cold side of the sheet. We are sitting on the couch. I am looking at the wall. You are looking away. I speak, but the sound does not travel. It drops on the floor and stays there. You ask what we should eat. I say it does not matter. You nod and you do not look at me. I look at your hands, they belong to a stranger. The paint used to be blue, now it just looks like gray. It is not a sudden break, it is not a loud noise. sheets are cold on my side. I listen to your breathing, it is out of sync with mine. I reach out to touch your shoulder, my hand stops in the empty space. We are pretending everything is normal, but the foundation is gone. It is not a sudden break, it is not a loud noise. It is just a quiet, you are right next to me, but you are miles away. I am slowly losing you, I am slowly losing you. The color is draining out, the volume is turning down. I am a ghost in this room, haunting a love that is dead. I sit beside you and wait, I sit beside you and fade. There is no fight to wake us up, we are drifting on the water face. I see the distance in your eyes, the ending is already here. I am slowly losing you, I am slowly losing you. Color is draining out, the volume is turning down. I am transparent now, you do not see me at all. Slowly losing you, I am gone. The water hits the white tile, I turn the temperature up high. Steam fills the small room, blurring the clouded glass. I see your plastic bottle sitting on the wet edge, the lavender and cedar leaking into the damp air. It coats the back of my throat, I close my eyes in the heat. The fragrance is a heavyweight, pressing down on my bare skin. I remember how your wet hair felt, brushing against my collarbone. Now it is just me in the water, but the scent is so loud, it takes up all the space, I cannot escape the trace of it. I am still breathing you, the room is thick with what you left, tilling up man your hollow chest. I am still breathing you, every inhale slow-mos you back into me. I am still breathing you. I step out onto the cold floor, walk into the quiet bed, and your wool jacket is on the chair. I left it exactly where it smoked, a different kind of ghost, sitting there in the pale morning, sitting there in the pale morning, watching me stand here alone. I can still see the shape of your weight pressed deep into the mattress. I lay down on your side of the bed, the fabric holds your body heat. Or maybe I am just making it up. I bury my face in the cotton pillow and pull your scent into my mouth. I drink it down like water, I am still breathing you. The room is thick with what you left, tilling up man your hollow chest. I am still breathing you, every inhale slow-mos you back into me. I am still breathing you. I hold my breath until my lungs ache, trying to keep the memory trapped. I do not want to exhale, I do not want to let you out into the room. If I let go of the air, maybe the last piece will evaporate. So I stay completely still and let the suffocation settle in. The dust falls on the windowsill. Everything in this house is a trap, covered in invisible layer of I am still breathing you. The lavender and the rain, I am still breathing you. 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 Deep in my lungs, I am still breathing you. The window is white with early morning, I am sitting on the ceramic floor. The temperature dropped hours ago, I watch the color leave the sky. Nothing left to throw, nothing left to hold. The fine powder settles on the table. beating fast against the absolute quiet. The oxygen feels too thin to breathe, so I draw the chill from the tiles instead. Sink in the straight squares, trace my outline. This is the morning after the collapse. The ringing in my ears is fading out. I watch the sunlight crawl across the wall. No more panic, just heavy particles falling. No more shouting, just heavy particles falling. My pulse is an engine winding down. A dark sweater hangs on the chair. I refuse to touch the fabric. I keep my eyes fixed on the ground, focusing intensely on simple straight lines, finding an anchor in plain architecture. The apartment is entirely and utterly still. There is a strange mercy in the emptiness. The oxygen feels too thin to breathe, so I draw the chill from the tiles instead. Sink in the straight squares, trace my outline. This is the morning after the collapse. The ringing in my ears is fading out. I watch the sunlight crawl across the wall. No more panic, just heavy particles falling. No more shouting, just heavy particles falling. My pulse is an engine winding down. I thought the silence would crush me, but it merely holds my shoulders down. I press both palms completely to the floor. The freezing shock acts as medicine. I feel the rush blood start to slow. I feel the rush blood start to slow. The disaster already came and went, and I am still here on the ground. The pulse is winding down. The cold takes all the heat. Just sitting on ceramic floor, the singing fades out entirely. Just heavy particles falling. The room is just a room. The engine stops. The counter is completely clean. You wipe the water from the sink. I stood by the doorway watching you breathe. There wasn't any weather in the room, just the terrible drone of the refrigerator. You placed the keys on the polished wood. We didn't even drop a single plate, waiting for the afternoon to fade. I wanted you to shatter the porcelain, but you're not at perfect posture, and asked if I needed anything to store. It feels like a hospital in here, sterile and carefully arranged. We are operating on a dying thing, with steady hands and polite faces. There is no mark on the linoleum, there is no sign of struggle. You never raised your voice. You never made a sudden movement. We let the house burn to the foundation, and we spoke in quiet murmurs. The lack of anger is freezing water. The lack of fighting means you stop caring. Everything is perfectly civil between us. Everything's completely dead. You never raised your voice. I packed your sweaters in the cardboard. You thanked me like a stranger on the street, like someone holding open heavy door. We divided the books we bought in winter. There wasn't any argument about the records. We moved carefully through the hallway. We moved carefully through the hallway. I was screaming underwater the entire time, but all you saw was a calm surface, a pleasant conversation about the lease. You never raised your voice. You never made a sudden movement. We let the house burn to the foundation, and we spoke in quiet murmurs. The lack of anger is freezing water. The lack of fighting means you stop caring. Everything is perfectly civil between us. Everything's completely dead. You never raised your Everything completely dead. Everything completely dead.